Of all the preseason NFL coverage you are going to listen to, we are the only one that knows who the Super Bowl champion is. Stevie Johnson, who's that?
Buffalo. Buffalo.
Here we go. This is Broken Table. We are back. Season 2, opening episode. Guys, they didn't cancel us. We made it. Thank you, FanDuel. You brought us back.
Yeah, this is a glorious moment. It's great to see you guys. You know, Oasis is back together.
Yes.
Broken Table is back together. What could be better?
Nothing's better than this. And it's around the same time as Oasis, so is it a coincidence? I don't know.
Yeah, AK is coming in a little tired. He was at Oasis last night.
I was. A lot of Bills talk. A lot of Bills jerseys that I saw at Oasis, oddly enough. A lot, of course, soccer jerseys, but the Bills swag was out in full effect because there is so much excitement and optimism about this season, seemingly as there is every single year.
Yeah.
But I think this year might feel a little bit different for a number of reasons. And I just can't wait to see this team on the field. A number of really intriguing additions in the offseason I think are going to make a major impact. What comes to mind first for you, Chris, when it comes to the Bills offseason?
So in terms of the offseason, I'm excited for Bosa. I think if Bosa can be healthy, that's... Here's the thing, lads. We know the Bills' defense has let them down significantly in playoffs, and I feel like through the draft and through free agency, although a couple guys suspended, they really invested in that defense. Now, the defense hasn't looked good through training camp and preseason, which is a little worrisome, but I think they're at least trying to build to beat the Chiefs in the playoffs through defense.
But did they look good last preseason?
No.
They didn't, and they went on to win 13 games last season. So I think there's optimism still. I think it's still high energy. I'm so excited for this team this year, like you said, for multiple reasons.
Well, Stevie, off the top, you said they're winning the Super Bowl. That's your thought. If this team doesn't win the Super Bowl or doesn't make the Super Bowl, is the year a disappointment?
Yes, it is. And I think that's fair to say for the Buffalo Bills because they've earned that position to feel like Super Bowl or bust. So I think everybody in that building, everyone in Buffalo would be upset if they got to the Super Bowl and didn't win again. It's the obvious, you know, you don't want to go and be that team to have 5 appearances and no win. So we'll definitely be upset.
Does McDermott get fired if they don't?
Make or break.
The season hasn't even started yet.
The McDermott, I'm totally with Tekeyah. Like McDermott is the focal point. I think Brandon Beane's done a great job as the general manager. You have Josh Allen. You have a window to win the Super Bowl. It is make or break for McDermott. You gotta get to the big
No more
dance.
scapegoats.
You have to. And McDermott's a great coach. His regular season record speaks for itself. His playoff record speaks for itself. But at the same time, at some point, if you can't get it done to this degree against the opponents that you face in the AFC, which are daunting, let's not dispute that at all. But at some point, you need a new voice. This is make or break for McDermott, 100% in my estimation.
I agree. It's just funny that we're it's our preseason.
You get right to it. You get right to it.
And like, first of all, happy FanDuel Futures Day to everybody as we bring up the Super Bowl odds here. Like the Bills, they had the shortest odds. They just moved back to plus 750. We've got the Ravens and Eagles both as co-favorites at 7-1. Bills, Chiefs are in the mix. That's my thing as to why I don't think it's make or break for McDermott, just because the league is so top heavy. Like, especially the AFC. To me, it's Bills, Chiefs, or Ravens. It would shock me if anybody else came out of the AFC. But when you put those 3 teams all together, not much really separates them.
It's true, but of course, the Kansas City Chiefs have been to the big dance many times, have won the big dance many times. We know Cincinnati's gotten there. Lamar and Josh have not gotten there. And I don't think Harbaugh is necessarily in the hot seat in Baltimore. Maybe he should be much like McDermott. But if you're Buffalo, there's only one goal this season. It's to, at the minimum, get to the Super Bowl, but it should be to win it.
Let's look at the weaknesses then. What do we think is the biggest weakness of this Bills team going into the year?
Defense.
Physicality. That's what I say. Just off the look of preseason, you know, preseason doesn't matter when it comes to the win and loss column, but you do get to see certain tendencies. And I did see something, and that was the physicality part that the Bills was lacking. And the offensive side of the Bills is great. That's what's going to carry. I feel like that'll, cover a lot of holes. But when it comes to getting over the hump to beating that maybe Kansas City Chiefs, or even when you get to the Super Bowl and beating the Philadelphia Eagles, that's defending champs, you're going to have to balance these elite offensive players out with physicality. And that's not only on the DBs, that's on the linebackers, and is also on the defensive line to cause pressure for the DBs to be able to do their jobs even better against these guys. So that's what stuck out to me, was the Bills' physicality level is too low for my comfortability.
Here's my thing. The defense, we know they addressed the defense in the offseason, but we need the defense to win them games.
Yeah.
Not just be good, win them games. Can they be scary? Can they be physical, like you said? They need to win a game.
I mean, it's got to be the secondary in particular, right? I think
especially with how hurt they are now,
the
too.
second cornerback spot next to Benford is a major question mark. At safety, there's some question marks. You're going to need guys to step up, and they've invested draft capital into those positions. They need some internal development, to steal a phrase from the Toronto Blue Jays. And I think that's a massive storyline in this season, because consider some of the opponents that the Buffalo Bills are going to have to go through in the postseason to win the Super Bowl. Kansas City, Baltimore, Cincinnati, prolific aerial attacks. And if the secondary isn't able to slow them down, I think we know what's going to happen.
Well, and I think
that's a
sorry. Go ahead, Stevie. Go ahead.
Point. I wanted to add on that with what AK was saying about internally. You know, it's not. We say McDermott because he's the head, of course, but it's those positional coaches that's going to have to step their games up so that they can evolve these players, so that Coach McDermott won't be on a hot seat. So yeah, I go there with the internal coaching.
And so I think you kind of nailed it with the secondary. That second corner spot was supposed to be Max Harrison. Bad luck with the injury. Trey White then, like, hey, you're looking going to be the guy. He also goes down. We don't know if we have either of these guys ready. I know they just cut Dane Jackson today. There's a lot of questions with the secondary, but I think if you have a questionable secondary, you need pressure from your front four. You keep Bosa fresh. If Bosa's fresh in playoff time and all you need him is a situational pass rusher, I'm excited. Like, the defense last year was good. It just relied a little too much on turnovers, but I think I saw a stat the other day. Yep. In the Bills' playoff losses, they're averaging something like allowing 35 a game, which is the most in NFL history.
Yeah, and you get a lot of pressure on the opposing quarterback. That makes the secondary's role less important, because the quarterback doesn't have time to throw. The opposing receivers and tight ends don't have as much time to get open, and the secondary's job is a lot easier. And I think you're spot on with Bosa. He is such a critical piece of this Buffalo Bills team. And we've talked about the pass rusher role. Von Miller in years past hasn't really worked out so well, but Bosa's a guy, and he's got a lot to play for, right? I mean, he's been injured a lot. If he's healthy and he's productive like he was back in the day, that could be a huge score for the Buffalo Bills.
Bosa, he's a smart defensive end also. He's got great IQ. He knows when he needs to rush the quarterback 100% and when he needs to read a play and kind of go halfway and spy a QB. So I'm excited about that pickup also. Tekeyah, was you saying something?
Sorry, yes, I was going to say, does this schedule make you a little less nervous?
I find as a season ticket holder, the Bills' home schedule is absolutely unbelievable this year.
Yeah.
Like, you get Ravens at home to start the year. You've got Chiefs at home. You got Bengals at home. You've got Eagles at home. You've got Tampa at home.
Yeah.
And that's fortunate that a lot of their tough games they're at home for. So I think that's a big help, but that's still a tough schedule. That's a lot of tough games.
They were undefeated at home last year, though.
And the division, depending on who you ask, there's a lot of people who are a fan of the Patriots, think they could make the playoffs. I mean, the Jets.
Talk to me about a radio professional here. That's a segue.
I'm not so sure that the Jets are going to be my pick to win the AFC East like they were last year. If we could strike that from the record on YouTube, that would be much appreciated. But, I mean, when you consider the AFC East, the Bills are the biggest favorite amongst all division leaders, and rightfully so. Buffalo should win this division by multiple games, and frankly, it would take a Drake May, just Jaden Daniels style season for them to even be close in New England, but I can't see that happening. I think you got to be feeling great about the Bills' chances in the AFC East, and that sets you up for so much success down the road.
Like I said before, it's FanDuel Futures Day, so let's go through some over-unders in that division. So Bills over 12.5 is plus 115, so a little bit of juice. But I think the fact, and when we get to our long shot bets later, I don't want to tease what Stevie's got, but they can easily run the table in this division. So, like, how are you guys feeling? Bills 12.5. I know they won 13 last year. That was with a lot of money in dead cap. Are we hammering that over? I've already hammered the over
like
for the
it.
record.
I mean,
Over.
I'm going up.
Yeah, I didn't even mention Miami because they deserve zero respect after everything that team has done over the last couple of years, and I'm not high on them at all. I mean, the Bills should cruise through the division. But you mentioned some of those games that they've got at home. I mean, those are essentially coin flip games, right? I mean, the Sunday nighter is Buffalo minus 1.5. I think that's fair with Baltimore,
and that's moving towards
coming
Baltimore
to town.
too.
Yeah, again, these are pick'em games, and you've got to take care of business in your division. And Buffalo, the schedule is as favorable it gets against teams that they've owned for a long time now.
Yeah.
And I think they should be feeling very good about their state.
Let's move on to the Dolphins then.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I was going to say
Go
10
ahead.
of their games are against teams that didn't even have a winning record last year. So there's 10
So
potential wins.
I said go to the Dolphins.
Put 10 on the board.
10.
This Pats number to me, the Pats hype is just a little crazy. Like, this team was garbage last year, and yeah, I know you brought in a competent coach. Love Vrabel. Vrabel's a great coach, but people are expecting a massive leap from Drake May.
Yeah.
8.5 wins? That's too steep. I'm going under on the Pats. That's a high number.
I just look at New England on offense. Drake May's great. Stephon Diggs, major question mark coming off an ACL.
I like Diggs.
I mean, I like Diggs too, but again, he's still coming off an ACL. Who knows? And then beyond that, I mean, I know they used the second-round pick on Travion Henderson. Ramondre Stevenson, the walking fumble, is still on the roster. Like, the skill position players in New England doesn't exactly inspire a lot of optimism from me. And I get Vrabel's a great coach. Huge upgrade there, but I'm with you on the under 8.5.
Yeah. Okay, Dolphins, 7.5. Stevie, how you feeling? Dolphins over 7.5 wins?
No, I don't think they'll have over 7.5 wins. But what I do like about this division is they're not slouches at the end of the day. So the Bills can't just show up and then walk past these guys. They still have to be alert and work on their energy and their tempo, because they still have elite guys on those other teams. But as far as those other teams going anywhere, the Patriots, the Dolphins. Yeah, I'm going under on whatever number you throw out there.
Is there a team with more variance than the Miami Dolphins in that
I agree
Tua
with that.
stays healthy,
Tyreek Hill does something.
Yeah, stays normal, not go off the wall, and Jalen Waddle's there, Devon Achane's there. Offensively, there's so much talent in Miami, but it also seems like there's something rotten in there too that I don't want to be a part of.
The Dolphins' hate has gone a little too far. Like, I kind of like over 7.5 at minus 110. I don't hate that because we've seen when like you said, when he's healthy, they're good. Mike McDaniel's a good offensive coach.
As long as it's not cold out, Miami's good.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And then let's just finish with the Jets, 5.5 with juice on the over.
I actually do like the over on the Jets, and the Justin Fields part of the equation I'm not a big fan of. Beyond Garrett Wilson, they have no one to produce offense, but Aaron Glenn is such an upgrade when it comes to the coaching, and I think he's really going to coach up that defense that a lot of people expected a lot from last year. We didn't get. There's a ton of injuries. They are healthier on defense. I think they can win 7 games.
Seven's heavy. I would say 6. Yeah,
We'll take 6. That's still an over, Stevie. We'll take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, that's an over. I like what they're doing. I like what Coach Glenn is doing out there. It's a start, and like everything you said, AK. They got something to build with as far as the coaching and then a talented receiver. They know they got talent at the QB spot, but is it proven yet? Yeah. Not just yet. So I just feel like they'll be middle of the road.
Games will be ugly.
Like, they're going to play like an offense like Navy or like Georgia Tech back in the day. Like, you're going to see.
You're right.
You're going to basically see
10-3. They want to win 10-3.
Exactly.
That's how the Jets
and you know what?
are best suited.
Whatever. The Jets are not going to be good. Wouldn't shock me if the Jets beat the Bills. Just like a team that's going to run the ball the entire time against a smaller defensive line. They would not shock me because Josh just tends to struggle against the Jets too.
I know, that is true.
I'm not taking that.
Stevie won't accept that
All
possibility.
right, let's get to our best bets. We got more Bills to talk, but let's get to our best bets here. Tekeyah, you want to lead this off?
Okay, I'll lead with this one. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Saquon over 1,375.
That's a big number.
Rushing yards. It is a big number. It's a big number. He got over 2,000 last year. You're telling me I have about 600 yards to play with? I think he goes over 1,300.
Yeah, I mean,
for
you're
sure.
just betting on health, right? That's the only thing that can derail Saquon Barkley.
Yeah,
I'm with
I guess. But he's young. He's not like Derrick Henry or, I think that he also has a great O-line.
The best.
So I'm going to shout out Aaron Schatz and the curse of 370. Uh-oh. When you hit 370 touches as a running back, you usually break down the next year.
Cash out to
Okay, so
Saquon Barkley last year, 378 regular season touches, 104 playoff touches. That's 482 touches. That is a heavy workload. That is a very big workload. And you need a monster year from him. If he misses 3-4 games, which if you're Philly, it might be in your best interest for him to kind of not take on the wear and tear. That's my big thing with Barkley. However, my best bet is also a running back. So like with these player props, the injuries are what kill you. But I'm going Jahmyr Gibbs over 1,075.5 rushing yards at -114. Gibbs is my favorite non-Bill to watch in the NFL.
Yep, I agree.
He is just, so last year, 13 runs of 20 yards or more, third in the NFL. 3 runs of 40 yards or more, tied for 5th in the NFL. Anytime he touches the ball, he is just a spark plug. I love Gibbs. And that number, it's kind of a joke. He came close to that in his rookie year when he only had 182 carries. Last year, he was 1,400 yards on the ground. The only way he does not hit that number is if he gets hurt.
Yeah, or David Montgomery emerges in his third. I know. Well, no, that's exactly it. Obviously, new offensive coordinator in Detroit as well, so we'll see how they're utilized. But yeah, I would be running Jahmyr Gibbs all the time.
Okay, let's stick with the running back thing here because Stevie, you're also repping a running back.
Yeah, just like you, Hein, I'm going with a running back. And like Tekeyah said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I'm going to go with James Cook with 10 touchdowns. I would say 10 plus touchdowns. Last year, he had 4 multi-touchdown games, scoring 16 touchdowns. I feel like he's going to up that, and he's going to have 5 to 6 multi-touchdown games. So I'm going with James Cook with the over on touchdowns.
That's a lot of tutties.
I love Cook just because they really give him the ball inside the 5. They want to kind of, people are always like, oh, Josh is going to vulture touchdowns. They kind of want to protect Josh. Unless you're inside the 1 doing a sneak, this was the best offense in football last year, and it's still probably the best offense this year. Yeah, take the back 10 touchdowns at even money pretty much for Cook. I love that.
Yeah, he's got to earn that cash on that new contract.
Yeah.
Yes. So the best way to do is by finding pay dirt. I completely agree. So the Raiders, 6.5 wins. I love the over. There are so many reasons to expect a positive year for the Raiders, especially compared to last year. New quarterback in Geno Smith, new coach in Pete Carroll, new offensive coordinator in Chip Kelly, Ashton Genty sliding in as a running back. Massive upgrades to that team. Tom Brady is on the ownership group as well. I think there are a ton of reasons to love the Raiders, especially their schedule, non-divisional schedule is a cupcake one. I think this team could be vying for a playoff spot in the AFC, let alone going over 6.5 wins.
I agree.
A big shout out to Brock Bowers also. Tight end.
For sure.
I really like the Raiders pick. I think anytime you kind of go from incompetent coach to proven good coach, that's worth 2 or 3 wins there.
I'm with you. They'll find a way to sneak it out. You'll see those videos of Pete Carroll doing the limbo in the locker room after games. I'm sure they'll emerge.
But also, when you go from incompetent quarterback to competent quarterback, that's also worth a ton. And you're getting both of those while adding a weapon in Genty. I don't know, man. Like I think all 4 AFC West teams could make the playoffs.
I wouldn't stun me either. That is such a competitive division, and I'm really high on a bunch of teams in that division. Yeah. So fortunately,
same. I'm big on the Chargers as well. But let's stick in that division because this has been kind of an odd storyline throughout this preseason as we build towards the season. Is Patrick Mahomes still the best quarterback in the NFL?
It's so hard to say no.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the quarterback that won the Super Bowl, and that's Jalen Hurts.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he managed his team and he ended up winning the Super Bowl. You know, Patrick Mahomes, he's got the great ability and the talent, and he's had that throne when he was the champ. But I'm just going to give respect where it is, man. And I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts being the best right now.
I do think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the National Football League. And I hate the arguments, Mahomes is beating him in the playoffs every time they faced. It's a lot more than a one-man game.
Mahomes beat the defense, not Josh Allen.
Correct. Josh Allen played spectacularly well. Dalton Kincaid makes a catch, 13 seconds. It goes on and on and on. Kicking game. Like there's been a lot of things that have gone against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Stephon Diggs
threw his hands.
Sure, I mean, the examples are seemingly endless. But I do think that Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the National Football League. That being said, if I could have one guy for one game, it is Patrick Mahomes.
So I think
maybe that's a hedge, but still, it is true.
I think Josh Allen is playing last year, especially played quarterback better than anybody was in the entire league. And I think in the playoffs, Josh Allen plays quarterback at an extremely high level. But the way we judge these things is resume. And as long as Patrick Mahomes has that resume and Josh Allen doesn't have a Super Bowl, it's hard to say that Josh Allen is the best quarterback. So I think that still has to go to Mahomes.
Yep.
But Josh Allen's playing better than anybody else. And I think everybody in the comments who are going to say, oh, what about Lamar? What about Lamar? Like, let's look at Lamar in the playoffs. And like, sure, Lamar was fine in that playoff game, still threw an absolutely awful pick and had a bad fumble.
He did.
Which wound up being the difference in those games.
What about Joe Burrow? He doesn't get any conversation here?
I think Burrow belongs in the conversation.
He's beaten the Bills in Buffalo in the playoffs, beaten Kansas City in the AFC title game.
He has done that
years ago.
Yes, exactly.
So he had that crown years ago too when he beat us and beat the Bills and Josh, but now he didn't get to the playoffs. He just fed his guy, and it's pretty easy to do that when you're going up against soft DBs. It's pretty much 7-on-7 out there anyway. So that's why I say the difference is going to be physicality. And yeah, we talk about who's the best quarterback because of the attributes they have or the talents that they bring. But, when you think about, I'm trying to think in depth or on the other side of the token where Jalen Hurts, maybe he chose to give a handoff as opposed to keep the ball himself and try to make a pass play to be bigger, and that's a great quality for a quarterback to manage a game, and, at the end of the day, he won the Super Bowl. So the talk should be how we go dethrone Jalen Hurts from managing his Philadelphia Eagles to winning another Super Bowl.
So I think like the general consensus amongst NFL people is that the top 4 quarterbacks in the league are Josh, Lamar, Patrick, and Joe. And you can make
any order.
Yeah, in any order. And I guess you could definitely make a case for Jalen Hurts at number 5, if not higher. I mean, guy, he's the defending Super Bowl champion and is a hell of a player, and there's no denying it.
Well, look at his stats in those Super Bowls too.
For sure. Who would you have as your number 5 guy, assuming the top 4 are locked in?
So honestly, and after the Super Bowl, I forget which Eagles receiver I asked this to at the podium, but it was, why isn't Jalen Hurts talked about with that group of those top 4? I don't think he's on the level of them, but in the biggest moments, even the Super Bowl they lost, that guy lit it up.
He was incredible.
So when you factor in the running the ball, they have an unstoppable play in the tush push. I really like Jalen Hurts. I just don't think, if the Eagles are, say, down 2 touchdowns, I don't think you can go to Jalen Hurts, hey, go win us this game, like you can do with Josh or Mahomes or Burrow or Lamar. And I think that's the big difference for me.
Well, yeah.
Who'd you have at number 5?
I had Hurts at number 5. He's dual threat. Like, yeah, I think Super Bowl, recency bias, all of that. I think I would have Hurts. I know there's conversations for Stafford or...
How about my guy, Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels is another big one, but...
We've seen, I don't know, I feel like there's always going to be, people are saying the same thing about CJ Stroud before. True. There's going to be a little bit of a sophomore slump, and I think Jaden Daniels can still be a great quarterback, but Jalen has proven over time how good he can be. Stevie, why do you think Jalen isn't sort of mentioned with that top 4 group of guys as elite quarterbacks?
Numbers, I would say, is because of the numbers. If he was putting up 4,000 yards, maybe, close to 30, I don't know, if he was putting up more yards and more numbers, then I think he'd be in that category or in that conversation. But he's not. He's just managing the games and he's winning.
Well, when you have a guy like Barkley who's running for 2,000 yards too, that's 2,000 yards that normally say take that off. That goes to your passing numbers.
Yeah. But like Josh got a guy who scored 16 touchdowns. In James Cook. So it's like, dang, he's got somebody, but Josh also gives those numbers, though. He can give you 18 rushing touchdowns, 18 passing, and 4,000 yards, so, and he makes it look wicked, it is not just, are we going to manage the game, manage the clock, and then give it to our stud running back. So, it comes down to that numbers making it look fancy. So for my top 5 quarterbacks, I'm going to go Jalen Hurts, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, and I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson.
Honestly, the thing with me and Lamar, and we basically trafficked in the Josh versus Lamar MVP toxicity last year.
We did.
And I love Lamar. Lamar is one of the best regular season quarterbacks we've ever seen. But it's kind of like when we talk about the Bills, we need to see it in the playoffs. We need to see Lamar go into a playoff game and leave no doubts and win a game, and we've still yet to see that. Now, having said all that, I think Baltimore goes in and beats the Bills week 1, and then I think the Bills probably go and win 10 straight after that. But it's a regular season game. I think the Ravens come in with revenge on their mind. Let's transition now to our newest segment, which is Stevie Time.
Stevie Time. I like Stevie Time.
Hey, that's cool. Stevie Time. Stories with Stevie.
I messed that up. We're in preseason form here. We're not quite mid-season ready. Form. But newest segment, Storytime with Stevie Johnson. And Stevie, we're all year, we're going to probably get you to tell us some tales based on who the Bills are playing, on what's happening in the league, but it's training camp, it's preseason. Let's get one of your best preseason training camp stories.
Yeah, well, I got something that popped up given this preseason time. So, there was a player that the Buffalo Bills ended up drafting. It was a defensive back. His name was Stephon Gilmore. Early, this guy, he was rough, bump and run. He played physical. And that was something that the Buffalo Bills was looking for, but when you play that type of style, you go take your lumps, you go lose some, you go win some, you might lose a little more than you win because you're still learning to adjust to this NFL game. And in preseason, this is where the story started. This first round draft pick, this kid comes in and he's going against me. We're battling. He's obviously losing more than he's winning, but at lunchtime, he comes in on his own and he sits down with me and he's asking questions. He wants to learn things. What was you thinking when you was in this position, when you got to this step, at this depth? And I really appreciated the young athlete of Stephon Gilmore trying to learn to get better. Ultimately, he ended up going on to becoming one of the best DBs in the NFL and winning the Super Bowl. What I want to say about this story, what it all comes to, is when it comes to DBs, more times than not, they're going to lose. But teams have to stick with those DBs. And I know we just got rid of our guy, Kyer. Some might say that I'm still a little salty about that. But I feel like this is the type of team and this is the type of management that's able to evolve our players. And I hope that we can evolve our guys like Max Harris, defensive backs who's learning the game, and not get rid of them so that they can go on somewhere else and be a Super Bowl champion. I won the majority of battles with all of them. I probably lost a handful of times, just to be honest, but I really appreciated that kid though. When he was a kid, when he's a rookie, coming up to me and asking these questions every day, he was in there meeting me at the table.
The tutelage of Stevie Johnson,
for sure,
leads to Defensive Player of the Year awards, clearly.
Okay, let's go back to some Futures Day talk, and let's go with our best long shot bet.
Do I get to go first?
You can lead this one off.
All right, here is my favorite play, long shot. Drake London of the Atlanta Falcons to lead the NFL in receiving touchdowns for a couple of reasons. Number one, the dramatic improvement in his performance with Michael Penix Jr. versus Kirk Cousins. It's a remarkable turnaround. 40% of red zone targets with Michael Penix Jr. under center went to Drake London.
Wow,
that is
a great stat.
An astronomical number. I think the Falcons offense will be very good with Bijan Robinson, with Penix Jr., who is a downfield flinger of the football.
I think more than anyone in the NFL,
that
right?
guy can chuck it deep downfield. I think Drake London is going to be the beneficiary of that. 16-1, Drake London. I think he has a huge year. 1,500 receiving yards, 15 tutties. Wow. You could be looking at a Jamar Chase type season from Drake London.
I like that.
Thank you.
I love that too. Stevie, when you watch a guy like Drake London, what do you think? Like that type of receiver?
Yeah, catch radius. He's got the wiggle. He's got, the ability to run all the routes in the route tree. And then you add that up with a young, talented quarterback that wants to make a name. I mean, I see a lot of opportunity. I love what AK is doing here.
All right, I'll go second, and I'm sticking with everything I said before about Jahmyr Gibbs, and now it's Jahmyr Gibbs to win Offensive Player of the Year at 13-1. Mm-hmm. Now, I gave the stats before, so you know why I love him, but I think this is a fade on Barkley, given all the touches that I talked about before.
Yeah.
And it's sort of a fade on those top two receivers with Chase and Jefferson. With Jefferson, I do not like that quarterback situation like at all. And I think his numbers are going to take a big hit. So I think my only real concern here is Chase. And when T. Higgins is healthy, Higgins eats a lot out of Chase's production. And I think if I can maybe do a little hedge with Chase as well, but Jahmyr Gibbs, I just love the explosiveness. And I think people are a little too concerned about, new coordinators, their line's a little reshuffled. That offensive line is still great. And yeah, Ben Johnson was good, but I still think Dan Campbell's philosophy is to want to pound the ball, and Gibbs is going to be the main beneficiary of that.
He's the most explosive offensive player in the league.
Most fun guy to watch. I would take him first overall in fantasy this year.
I don't think that's a crazy idea. Maybe Bijan Robinson could have a case, maybe those receivers that you mentioned, but watching Jahmyr Gibbs, that's just someone you want to be invested in, because literally anytime he touches the football, he can go 80 yards for a tutty, and that's curtains for the opposing defense. It's a blast to watch that guy. That's a great call.
Yeah.
Tekeyah, what do you want?
I really don't have to say much more because you said a lot for me, because I'm going with the best running back duo in the NFL, and Gibbs is part of that. I'm going with the Lions to have at least one rushing touchdown in every regular season game.
I love that.
It goes hand in hand with yours.
Yeah.
This is why I didn't have to say much. You said it all for me, but they almost did it last year. They missed by one game. Previous year.
Nice stat.
Yeah, previous year, same thing. They only missed it by one game. So they combined for 28 rushing touchdowns last season, and Monty was injured. And like you said, Gibbs is like elite. You take him number one in fantasy. Like, he's fun to watch, and run heavy team. Again, best, I think, running back duo in the NFL. So I'm going with them to score at least one rushing touchdown in every regular season game.
Stevie, your bet. You teased it on Twitter. I absolutely love this. Tekeyah, I think you're going to like this. Stevie, what's your long shot bet?
I'm going with the Bills to sweep the AFC East. My long shot bet.
I love it.
For the Buffalo Bills to go 6-0. Last year, the Bills went 5-1. They ended up losing to the Patriots late in the season.
In a meaningless game, by the way.
It was really 6-0. It was really
a strategic loss, because it meant they could have had Travis Hunter if the Bills win that game.
That's true. But this year, they go 6-0. They leave the old stadium and they move on to the Super Bowl. And that's how they start the season off next season.
Love it. And you can get that at a very juicy number, plus 380. Almost 4-1 of that on FanDuel. And remember, it is Futures Day, so go to FanDuel and make all of those futures bets. And if you guys want to see some more futures bets, let's take it to the streets right now. Fanny pack, make a great catch. There we go. Forza Bills.
Forza Bills.
There we go. Thank you. Catch. You ready? You got to keep moving, though, like in stride. There you go. Nicely done. Suitcase guy, you ready to make a catch? No? You couldn't even go for the ball? Couldn't even go for the ball. It is Futures Day on FanDuel, so we're taking it to the streets to get the best bets for this upcoming NFL season. It's Futures Day on FanDuel. We are making some bets. So, are you bold enough to place a Broncos Super Bowl bet? Be bold. Give me a Super Bowl pick and give me an MVP pick.
Honestly, Super Bowl champion, I would actually bet on the Lions. I'm not gonna lie.
That's a good number. 11-1
Detroit, and I really like their team as a whole. I like their coach. He's a little ballsy with some of the fourth downs, but I like that.
He's a little crazy.
He is a little bit.
I think in his opening presser, he said he was going to eat people's kneecaps.
When you knock us down, we're going to get up, and on the way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off.
Yo, you want to make a catch? Oh, come on. I hope your hands aren't as bad as your picks. First of all, very bold. You're rocking the old Cracker Barrel logo.
Yeah.
Very polarizing. Did you have that hat before the rebrand?
Yeah, my mom got it for me. I love it.
How do you feel about the new logo?
I don't like it.
Who's winning the MVP and who's winning the Super Bowl?
Lamar Jackson, MVP. No, definitely not Josh Allen.
Well, what's your beef with Josh Allen?
My friend doesn't like him.
Why not?
Oh, he's a hater.
He's like a golden retriever disguised as a quarterback, man. What's not to love?
We're going for Lamar Jackson.
Okay, Hawaiian shirt. You want to make a catch? No? You want it? Oh. Come on, make a tough one. Oh. I overthrew you, my bad. It is Futures Day on FanDuel. Sure. So we are looking at some future bets. First of all, who's your team?
The Chicago Bears.
Ouch.
Yes, I know.
Are you excited? You excited for Caleb? You excited for Ben Johnson?
A week at a time.
Is there anything you like on that board that sticks out to you? We got Super Bowl champ, we got MVP, Opoi, Depoy, Coach of the Year, and we got some fun stuff over there on the side.
Yeah, I'd say you got a couple of sneaky potential bets in here. I mean, Saquon at plus 6,000 for MVP.
That's a big number.
It is a big number.
But, that's a quarterback's award.
Yeah, but, he's putting up ridiculous statistics, so you never quite know.
You think he could put up another 2,000-yard season?
It's not unheard of.
Now, you are a Bears fan. How do you like their win total this year? Are they a playoff team?
No.
You don't think so?
I'm going under 8.5 wins.
You like the under. Okay, now you can go to FanDuel. You can parlay futures this year. So if you like them to not make the playoffs, you could take Bears to not make the playoffs. Who do you think will make the playoffs? Who are you going to parlay that with?
The Lions.
Okay, and in the same division too. So.
Yep.
What about on the right there? We got some Taylor Swift and some Haley Steinfeld props.
I'm probably the wrong guy to ask there, but I mean, again, you'd probably have to go with this one. Taylor Swift to be Spotify's top global artist in 2025. And I'd probably bet on the Chiefs to go over.
You're getting plus 240. That's a big number.
Yeah, I'd jump all over that.
Did you hear the big news moments ago?
No.
Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce just got engaged. How you feeling about that?
Over the moon.
We took to the streets for some fans of Broken Table and their picks in the Super Bowl. It's time to reveal ours. I'm going to go first. I'm going to take the Rams to win the Super Bowl at 20-1. Their opponent,
big number,
the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh,
I know. Who's picking the Chiefs? Apparently, I'm the only one who is, oddly enough. Spoiler alert. But the Rams, I get it. Matthew Stafford, the back problem is a major concern. Anytime you have an epidural that's not during childbirth, it's a little bit of a concern. In this case for Stafford, it seems like things are trending in the right direction. I really like the addition of Devontae Adams to that offense, which should be stacked. The defense is full of young studs. The NFC is wide open beyond maybe the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll take a shot at the Rams at 20-1.
I don't want to see the Chiefs in the Super Bowl ever again after
I
last
too.
season. I really don't.
Travis can watch his girl do the halftime show,
He'll
right?
be with.
Oh,
Yeah.
I honestly, at that number, I was big on the Rams last year.
Yep.
I'm a strong proponent of best coach, best quarterback, and I think they might have the best coach. They do have the best coach in the NFC, and they might have the best quarterback in the NFC, pending health. I also like them at the division. You're getting a good number on them for the division. Tekeyah, what's your Super Bowl pick?
I mean, we started the show with it. Stevie called it. I love it. The Bills to win the Super Bowl. Listen, we've seen the Bills seasons end in heartbreak. I think heartbreak is a thing of the past. The Bills are going all the way, and they're winning it. I think they maybe see the Lions with them. I think that would be one of the most electric matchups in the Super Bowl. I think everyone wanted it last season. We didn't get it.
The world wants it.
The world wants it. We need it. Yeah. So whoever the scriptwriters are this year, you kind of dropped the ball last year. Let's try again this year, refreshed. And I think the Bills are going to win it. I'd love to see. They had 90 points, the Bills and Lions, last season in their
What a game that was,
Oh my gosh. Imagine a Super Bowl.
Bills Lions and Bills Rams were two best games of the year. Stevie, what's your... Yeah, you said you got the Bills off the top. Who are the Bills beating in the Super Bowl?
The Bills will beat the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl in Santa Clara, California. And we was talking about backs and epidurals, and I'm going to keep having the Buffalo Bills back. And I'm going to stick with those to win the Super Bowl this year. That's me.
Now, I hate to do this and be a fellow homer, but I also have it. I have the Bills over the Lions in the Super Bowl, but I will say this. Bills, Chiefs, or Ravens, one of those three teams is winning the Super Bowl. Whoever gets out of the AFC between the Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens is winning the Super Bowl, but at plus 750, I love the Bills. In the NFC, I think the Lions. Now, because we have three homer picks in our group chat, one, Davis Sanchez, who's not here today, but will be here next week. That guy was talking all kinds of smack.
He was.
So he made a little message for us. So here's Davis.
I get it, guys. Broken Table Podcast. Stevie used to play for the Bills. Was the man. Hein, I get it. You're a season ticket holder. You love your Bills. Tekeyah, love the Bills every week. We're supposed to be objective here. Why don't you guys just paint your faces? Jump off a table or jump into a table. Come on. Anyway, I love you guys. Miss you guys. Back next week. Want me to give you a real futures bet that has pretty good odds and some reasoning behind it? The Detroit Lions. DJ Reed is a playmaker. They needed a playmaker on the outside. They got DJ Reed. He's the guy. They bring back almost everyone. A healthy Aiden. 11-1, the Detroit Lions. Plus, the NFC is a much easier path than the AFC. Go Bills.
All right, Davis is not wrong. We are all homers. So
Nothing wrong with it.
yeah.
Yeah, he's calling a spade, whatever he does. And I did take the Chiefs, so Sanchez might be on his side.
You Sanchez. Davis is your boy.
Yeah,
we were. The three of us were actually supposed to go golfing yesterday, but someone dropped the ball. That was you. So still waiting on that.
Oasis prep.
Prep. There it is.
My name changing paperwork is coming in. I'm changing my name to Bill Homer.
Yes. Is that your fantasy team name?
Honestly, though, I like Chezzy's Lions pick for Super Bowl. I could definitely out of the NFC, I do like the Lions.
Lions and Eagles, I love.
Yeah, that's it for us. We will be back again, one more episode kind of before the season starts, and then after that, you'll see us mostly on Mondays. But Stevie, play us out.
Yeah, remember, guys, do not make those bets. I repeat, do not place those bets without checking out the Broken Table Podcast. And don't forget to leave comments. We like chatting with you guys down there, all right? See y'all next week. One love, and go Bills.